the legalities of this are not really in Trump's favor.
And that's why that's the answer you're answering your own question, like why he hasn't done it.
He is like saying that he wants to do it, but it seems that at least on some level they understand they would need to figure out an actual legal framework to do this.
And they may be doing so.
Yeah.
Right. But let's just talk about the logistics for a second. Number one, I don't think it's accurate that in your open you referred to it as Trump's military occupation. When Governor Hochul here in New York put the National Guard in the subways and in some crime-ridden areas, I don't think we referred to it as military occupation. Why? I ride the subways. I loved when they were there. I mean, law-abiding citizens love that. Are you kidding me? I wish there were more police officers and have one in every single car in the subway at every platform. We can't. That's why Governor Hochul said we're going to put them out and around. Law-abiding citizens, I don't see them objecting or looking to it as like it's a takeover by the military. I'm walking down the street. I walk out of my law firm at 1 o'clock in the morning in Midtown Manhattan, and I see a military guy there. You think I'm upset about that, or am I thrilled about it?
Why you're not
in Washington, D.C., he has attempted to take over the police department, A.
With the police department union support.
And B, I didn't ask whether they supported it or not. I mean, I'm just answering the question about whether or not there's a takeover. I mean, that was the intention, was to essentially take control over law enforcement in the city, which he can do because it's a federal city. Right. That's what Trump wants to do. So I don't know.
That's what he has done.
Why you're quibbling with that part.
You are absolutely right and accurate in your open, Abby. I think the reason why you may feel that way, Arthur, is because you maneuver in society with a certain privilege. The question is, who are these?
Well, hold on, what privilege? When I get on the subway, just tell me the privilege. When I'm dressed like this on the subway, I am a target. That is not a privilege. I'm a target. There's the guy who probably has a wallet and a watch.
Arthur, I want you to be open.
That's not privilege.
I want you to have a little bit of intellectual curiosity and be open and let me finish my point.
I'm very curious.
Thank you. I think when you ask the question, who is the militarized law enforcement there to protect, and who are they there to protect from? And so often in this country, particularly, that is how law enforcement swole their ranks. There was so much violence against people of color, black people in particular in this country, that they said it's okay to beat a black person, to murder a black person, but you gotta be wearing a badge when you do it.
Who are the victims?
Do you want to listen, or you can't talk and listen at the same time?
Well,
let me just tell you. It doesn't sound like it. My point to you is, I am telling you on the front lines what is happening. And there are militarized police force going in harassing longtime law-abiding citizens of Washington, D.C. And so when we, who are probably a little more familiar with American history perhaps than you, look at the military turning the police force on its own people, we remember the examples like Tulsa, when law enforcement dropped bombs on its own community. We know what it is like to have people.
We're far from that, though.
We are not so far. We are not so far from that. We are not so. We are actually not so far from that.
We need to bring some numbers into this. Washington, D.C. has a net loss of 500 police officers since 2020. They are undermanned. The D.C. police union supports what Donald Trump's doing. They think it's working. We've gone 13 days without a murder in Washington, D.C. in August, the heat of the summer. That never happens. This is going to be the lowest number of murders in August on record.
That actually is not true.
We're changing the goalposts.
And that's a lie.
The lowest number of murders in August, but just earlier this year, in February, 16 days without any murders.
Oh, it has happened before. It doesn't tend to happen in August. It doesn't tend to happen in the summer.
I think that's completely arbitrary.
No, it's not. The heat of it's not. Everyone knows summer's a high crime.
Hold on a second.
High crime.
I just think it is pretty arbitrary to just say, well, in August.
Okay, CNN's own reporting. Let's go to more stats.
It's happened earlier this year.
CNN's own reporting says crime is down 19% from the weeks before.
I didn't say that it wasn't down.
So is it working? Is it helping?
No, it is not working.
I'm just saying
the police say it helps.
That this has never happened before.
Let me just tell you, a lot of people do not care what the police think or what the police unions think. They themselves are quite problematic.
What they're doing here is so obvious, it's almost insulting. So Donald Trump brings in the National Guard to restore order in D.C. And like I said earlier, he said he'd like to do it in Chicago as well, where just under 600 people were murdered last year. That's leadership. That's protecting American people. But the Democrats on this panel, they're arguing against safer streets. Underneath all the bluster about who said this or how this was worded, that's what it boils down to. Tiffany Cross is she's just a loser. She's a fool. I'm not even going to say she's dumb or what an idiot. I mean, everything that comes out of her mouth. The National Guard are harassing people. And then, honestly, that's really all I picked up on. And everything else, I really wasn't sure what she was talking about. I think she was suggesting that Black Americans are being singled out. That's not true, but they are going after criminals. And so if she's trying to equate criminal with Black, then who's pushing the stereotype?